In this video, we're going to have a look at how we change our negative and positive air pressures on our Mimaki JFX200ex printer. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I need access to the back of the beam over there, so I need to bring it forward to make it a bit easier for myself. So I'm going to press and hold my down arrow. And what that's going to do is it's going to bring my beam forward very slowly, and it will give me that access to the back to make this job a little bit easier. Now I can press enter to confirm that, and that means it's now not going to move the beam back. There we go. So that now gives me the access to the back end. Now the air pressure is all done over on the left hand side over there, but first we need to get to it in our menu. So I'm going to go to function, I'm going to go down to maintenance, I'm going to then go down to my pressure adjust in maintenance using my up and down arrows and press enter. Then we've got two options. We have negative, we have positive. So I'm just going to do a negative first. It doesn't matter which one you do first, and press enter. Now it tells us straight away to open the throttle valve. Now the throttle valve is this over here. So we can see that we've got our negative and positive. Now the throttle valve is the bigger one around the outside, and then we've got our adjustment, which is the smaller one in the inside. Now when it tells us to open the throttle valve, it means that it wants us to basically unwind it so it allows us to turn the smaller one. However, when you do that, you will change the actual set pressure at the moment. So I don't do it. I'll go to the next step first, see what the pressure is, and then I'll adjust it from there. So I'm going to say, yeah, that's fine. I haven't done it, but enter. Now it's doing adjusting, so it's just bringing the pressures up. What we'll see is we've got our negative value over here, which is minus 2.70. And then we've got our actual value here, which is minus 2.95. So you can see that mine actually needs to be changed. So that means that we're too low at the moment, and we need to come up to 2.70. Now you'll also hear it's beeping at me. Now it's beeping slowly, which means that it's too low. If it's beeping faster, it means it's too high. So at this point, this is where I would then start to adjust our pressure. So this is the negative pressure. So I'm going to loosen that off, just slightly like that. And then I always just wait a second. I can hear the beeping in the background. So I'm then just going to adjust it. Now when I adjust it by such a tiny amount. So just a little turn. I'm just listening out for the beeps and just do more. Now I've just adjusted that, so let's have a look on our screen to see whether that's changing in the right direction. So now you can see it's actually even lower, so I'm going the wrong way. So back to here. Now I'm going to go back the other way. Small amounts. Small amount again. So I'm just going to check that now on the screen. So it's still beeping. I can still see that I still sort of need to bring it a bit further down. You can see it's very small amounts. So now it's stopped beeping. Just going to lock the bigger throttle valve back up again. You can hear it's now beeping again. So just a slight adjustment down. Throttle valve's not fully locked. I'm going to go check. So now we're at 244, minus 244. So I've gone too far the other way. So I just need to bring that back up again. Check it. 2.5. A little bit more. 2.59. So very small amounts at the moment. Go. It's stopped beeping at me. So now just at the limit. So it's at minus 2.6. So we need to still go a little bit more. So it stopped beeping because there is a sort of tolerance, but we want to sort of be a bit better. So a little bit more. There we go, so we're now at 2.67 and it should be minus 2.7, so that's pretty good there. So I've tightened that throttle valve at the back as well. Going to press enter on that one. That's now going to adjust its new pressure, and that's the negative pressure set. Then all we do is we do exactly the same with the positive pressure, but the value for the positive pressure is obviously going to be different, but it still gives it you and it still gives you the target. But you do exactly the same thing in the back of the machine. So that's how we change our negative and positive air pressures on our Mimaki JFX200ex printer.